Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play Blades of Avernum. Last episode we started a new scenario, and I've already got high hopes for it. It seems to be fairly well put together. There's been a murder in the other fort on this island that we're on, which we're going to see shortly, and our quest is to find out who committed the murder and probably bring them to justice. I don't see why we wouldn't. So now, let's head out. Fort Bluebird to the west. Well, we'll investigate it after I investigate around the area first. Because this is what I do. Deal with it. Okay, that's a cave. I believe we were told there was a cave around here that we could look around in. This is a fairly small island, it seems. Honestly, I don't see what the purpose is of having two forts on this island. Seriously, this is a small island and there doesn't appear to be anything on here. You come across a small area of land that is filled with boulders and fragments of rotten wood. From the size and shape of the rubble, it would appear that this was once a settlement of some sort. This must have been one of the places where the natives of this island lived before they were wiped out. You have a quick look around for anything that might seem useful, but your search yields no results. Everything is either ancient or has been taken by the Empire forces here. Okay. Well, let's go into the fort. You enter Fort Bluebird, the tower that houses a large, experimental, trans-dimensional portal. Even from the entrance you can feel heavy magic heavy in the air. There's also something else, though, like a low hum, that is constantly distracting you. Must be a side effect of the portal. Oh, so that's why there's forts here. I was wondering why there were forts here when this place was completely empty. Obviously, it's to protect this portal. It makes more sense. I guess one fort is meant to take in people who are arriving here, and the other one is meant to defend the portal. Okay. Makes much more sense. Let's go in and look around at the fort, and afterwards we'll check in that cave. This portal is trans-dimensional. That's curious. Fort Bluebird. Fort Bluebird. To the portal, authorization required. Alright, we'll look around here first. This youngish woman is sitting at her desk, her head in her hands, staring blankly at the piece of paper in front of her. As you come in, she starts slightly and frowns. Yes, what do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? Say what you're here to say and then get out. What's your name? I'm Magus Jessica, a magical administrator of Fort Bluebird, and I am trying to work. It's been hectic here, and people like you are traipsing around doesn't help in the slightest. Now, what did you want? Are you alright? Yes, I'm fine, just concerned. There's a murderer among us after all, now leave me to work. Jessica is sitting at her desk again, staring straight ahead. She's either deeply in thought or else not quite there in the sanity department. You clear your throat a little and she starts. What now? I'm busy thinking, can't you see that? What exactly is it that you do? Jessica frowns for a minute, shakes her head, and then begins again. Her voice is clearer now and more focused. I oversee all experiments here, whether they are portal-related or not. I report back to the Empire with our findings, and occasionally I have to report an accident or a work-related death. So what is it that you use the portal for, exactly? She lowers her gaze slightly, resting her eyes on your belts. I'm afraid that's strictly need to know, and you don't need to know it. It's all Empire-authorized experimentation. We're here about the murder. I thought as much. Why else would you be here? Not to check up on us. No, we're doing nothing wrong. Yes, one of our magi was killed, stabbed in the back. His body is still where we found it. You can go ahead and have a look if you like. It's in one of the northern storerooms. I've questioned everyone, and nobody seems to have done it. Go and look. See if you can work anything out from the body. What did the victim do? What was his job? Jessica grabs a sheet of parchment and reads off it. He was involved with the portal calibration, spent a lot of time near the portal. She pauses again. Probably someone got jealous and killed him for his position. She scratches her head. Then suddenly she remembers something. The day before he was killed, he came to me saying he'd heard voices in his head when he was working in the portal chamber. We thought someone must have hidden up there and done it to unnerve him. Then, well, when they saw it wasn't going to get him to leave, they killed him. At least that's my guess. Can we see the portal, please? Jessica develops a hostile pose. No, definitely not. The area is extremely dangerous to anyone not trained to know how to deal with it. And knowing how is classified information. There is no way you're going up there whilst I'm alive. Got it? Why do so many people here forget things? Jessica looks a little worried, although the expression is fleeting. Then she turns to you in her usual ruthless manner. It's all proximity to the highly concentrated magical energy we use to power the portal. It makes us... She pauses and you offer her the word forgetful. She looks at you angrily and begins to say something, but stops almost immediately. Instead, she says, "Yes, thank you. Now, do you want anything else?" No, nothing else. Not gonna pick the lock, they probably wouldn't get in. You enter Fort Bluebird's Northern Library. The smell of aging books and paper is heavy on the air. Looking around, your sense of greed kicks in, and you imagine the power these shelves might contain. You grab the first book off the nearest shelf and are dismayed to see that it is a work of fiction. If there are any spellbooks here, you'll have to search hard for them. Alright, let's see. Anything here that's not fiction? The Lusty Fioran Maid? What the hell is that doing here? Also, there's someone here to speak to. This middle-aged woman is leaning against the wall, eyes closed. She is gently swaying from side to side. When you approach, she doesn't move an inch, and it takes several attempts to gain her attention through talking. Finally, she opens her eyes, and immediately upon seeing you, flinches away. I'm Michelle, Shelley, and I can't speak to you. Go away, please. What's the matter? The matter? There's a murderer on the loose, and Sean is dead, and people are scared and losing their minds, and Jessica can't do a thing, won't do a thing. Just leave me, please. Alright, alright. Let's do more. And there's another one back here. This young mage is busy looking for a book. When you get close, she turns and looks at you vacantly. Presently, she seems to realize you're saying something, and she shakes her head, making her long brown hair fall around her face. Then she smiles, a warm, friendly smile. Sorry about that, don't know what came over me. Must be tired or something. I'm Rita, is there anything I can do for you? What are you looking for? Rita looks at you, then at the shelf, then back at you. She tilts her head slightly to the left, then bites her bottom lip. It was a book about teleportation, I think. She looks a bit worried, then notices a crumpled bit of paper in her hand. She reads it and grins. I'm looking for teleportation manifolds in you. I have a memory like a sieve lately. Are you okay? I'm fine, just under a lot of pressure. Makes me get forgetful. Makes me forget things. You know how it is, what with... She freezes and stares over your shoulder. Then just as suddenly she turns back to you. What was I saying? Seems that everybody here is forgetting things. Know anything about the murder? The murder? There was a... Oh, Sean! Oh, no, I don't know anything about it. Everybody's talking about it. We all wonder... I don't know who did it. Sorry. She looks at you worriedly and turns back to the shelf. Are you not worried about the murderer? Rita looks across at you. Then she lowers her gaze and stares at the ground. Finally, she speaks. Well, I mean, it could be anybody. I'm worried. I've not been remembering things lately, and... She pauses for a minute, trying to recapture her train of thought. And it might even be me. I haven't found any blood on my clothes, but I could be doing it, and I'm scared. Suddenly, Rita looks up at you and frowns. Hey, who are you? We just met. Rita frowns. She looks worried. We just met. Oh. Well, hello. I'm afraid I'm busy trying to... I have something that needs doing. See you soon. This is more than a little concerning. As you step on the rune, glowing green tendrils wrap themselves around you, seemingly searching for something. Unfortunately, they don't find what they are looking for and create a barrier in front of you. You won't be able to go this way. Not going in that door. This apprentice is standing guard at the door to this room. As you approach, he nods at you, but doesn't say anything. All your questions are greeted by silence or one-syllable answers. Clearly doesn't want to discuss anything. As you enter the storeroom, you are instantly hit by the smell of rotting flesh. Looking around, you soon see why. What can only be a dead body is lying on the floor, surrounded by a pool of blood. This must be where the killing took place. Maybe there are some clues as to who the murderer might be near the corpse. This poor soul was stabbed several times in the back. He must have been looking for something in the storeroom and was attacked from behind. Holding your nose, you search him for any clues as to who the attacker might have been. Alas, you find nothing incriminating on his person or on the ground in front of him. You aren't going to find anything here. You should go back and tell Jessica. Well, there's some armor and a weapon here. Okay. Anything of use in any of these? Some bread, I guess grab it. Ooh, a cloak. Javelins, we don't care about. Iron arrows, sure, grab them. Boots, boots, boots. Yeah, you should hold the arrows, you're our archer. Alright, let's look around the rest of this place. This man is pacing around in the corridor outside of the toilets here. When you approach, he half turns to see you, turns back around, and continues pacing. "I'm Howie," he says without looking. He pauses for a minute. I'm waiting for the toilet. The gents are always full this time of day." "So what do you do when you're not waiting to relieve yourself?" Howie grins. "I don't always need to go. I usually work in the portal room. Oh, I shouldn't say anything more about..." He freezes again, a common occurrence in this place. "Do you know how long I've been waiting here?" He shakes his head in disbelief. "How long have you been waiting?" Howie grins at you. "Let me tell you, I'm sure I'll be retired by the time I finally get in. Of course, I might just have to use the ladies if push comes to shove." "Know anything about the murder?" Howie frowns and shakes his head, then frowns again. Finally, he speaks. "Oh, Sean? No. We spoke a little. He mostly kept to himself. Last thing we spoke about was him telling Jessica that something was wrong with the portal." "Well, bye then." "Yeah, bye." He continues pacing around, trying not to think about how much he needs the toilet. You know what, I'm not gonna... what the hell? Can I? No, not a chance. Okay, ignoring that. When you get close to this cat, he arches his back and hisses at you. It seems the dementia that is affecting the people here is also affecting their pets. Meditation room 1. This empty meditation room is decorated to look like the outdoors. A bright light shines down from a magically enhanced ceiling, which has been made to look like the sky, limitless and deep, deep blue. The grass is soft underfoot, the air sweet. You instantly feel at ease in here and take a moment to relax. Oh, nice. Meditation cell 2. This thin, handsome-looking soldier is walking around near the contemplation rooms, seemingly searching for something. As you approach, he calls for you to stop. "Well, that's close enough. Can't be too sure these days. I'm Roberts and you're strangers. What are you doing here?" "What do you mean you can't be too sure?" Roberts looks uneasy. "Well, I don't know if you know, but people around here are a bit strange, you know? And to top it all, they're forgetful. Yeah, and the murderer's around too, which is bad." "What are you looking for?" Roberts blinks blankly a few times. Then he frowns and chews his lips a little. Finally, he shrugs his shoulders resignedly. "I can't remember. There was something I was..." "Do you forget a lot?" He nods. "Yes, it's a constant problem. It's a side effect of the portal, which is fair enough. I mean, all magical experimentations have... What were we talking about? Do you know who the murderer might be?" "Nope, but I'm keeping my eyes peeled for anything that might help track them down. Right now, everyone's a suspect." Administration. I doubt there's gonna be anything in any of these. No. This tallish, handsome-looking man is rubbing his temples when you approach him. He looks tired, as if he's been working overtime on his overtime. When you approach, he reaches down into his robes and grabs the hilt of his sword. He screams in a strangled, high-pitched voice at you, an unnerving gleam in his eye. Don't come any closer! I'm warning you, I'll strike you! He pulls his sword. Leave me be! Leave me be! Whoa, careful, it's okay, we aren't going to hurt you. It takes some explaining, but you manage to convince the man that you aren't here to hurt him. When he realizes, he collapses into his chair and speaks to you. Thank you. I need a moment. Would you? Chris is cupping his head in his hands when you enter. His eyes roam the room listlessly and fix on you. When they do, he smiles briefly and then resumes his visual wandering. Are you okay? Yes. I'm Chris. I'm the administrator here. I look after supplies, rotas, that sort of thing. Sorry about earlier, just been under pressure lately. Lots of it. What made you think we were going to hurt you? Something changes in Chris. His eyes grow duller, his head droops. Oh, that. Nothing. I just get worried with a murderer on the loose. I need to catch up with this paperwork. Please excuse me. So what is it that you do? Chris shakes his head. He looks terrified. I can't talk to you. I can't trust you. Sorry. Okay, then. No magical fort in the Empire is without the obligatory lavatory. Fort Bluebird is no exception. As you enter, you are taken aback by the smell of ozone and the staggering amount of paper on the shelves. You also spot a pit heavily splattered in blood, set into the ground. Doesn't seem to be much happening in here. Only one researcher is present at the moment. I shouldn't bother picking any locks. I'm not going to get in any. Bolt of fire scroll. What the hell? Grab it. You can, so... Shield ring. Random, but okay. I'll take it. Now, who are you? This tall, imposing man is writing on a piece of parchment when you enter. When he spots you approaching, he puts his pen down and pulls off the thick gauntlets he is wearing. Gauntletts. And stares at you stonily. I am... my name is Blake. I am the head researcher at Fort Bluebird. My time is valuable, so say what you need to and please leave. What is your job here? Blake frowns at you. I am the head researcher here at Fort Bluebird, and as I already told you, I also told you that my time is valuable. Too valuable to be talking to you. Now, do you have a reason to be wasting my time? If so, make it quick. I actually have work to do. What kinds of things do you study here? Various things, portal-related. Nothing that you can comprehend, so don't bother asking again. Do you know who the murderer is? Blake looks incredulous. You came here wasting my time to ask me to do your job for you? No, I don't know who the murderer is, but I hope you get the little bastard. Sean was a good friend of mine. Now, just go. Okay, then. Oh, these must be the ladies' rooms. Okay, ignoring that. Doesn't want to discuss anything with me. That one's locked. These look like barracks. This young man is walking around as though drunk. He stumbles a lot, and when he notices you, stares at you through dazed eyes. Then he mutters something about patrol as he goes walking. This young lady is currently huddled up in the corner of this room. She is wearing the robes of a mage, but she has taken a blanket from one of the beds and thrown it around her to make a shawl. When you approach, she flinches slightly and looks puzzled. Then she relaxes a little and graces you with a radiant smile. She tugs the shawl tighter around her and speaks to you. I'm Annie. I'm a mage here. Why are you here? Why are you hiding here? Annie looks up at you puzzlingly. Then she blinks and realizes what you mean. Well, there's a murderer around and people have been acting. I can't trust people around here not to stab me and just won't let me leave, so I hide. Do you know who the murderer is? Annie looks terrified. No, I don't know, and they might come and get me. I did Sean's job before he did, and I can't remember what we were talking about. Sorry. Do you know why so many people are forgetting things? Annie shakes her head. No. Jessica says it's to do with our... It's something about how close we are to something. Whatever happens here makes us go... She looks like she is about to cry. It must be distressing for the people here. Jeez. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Hopefully I cut that out. I'm not going to find anything I can take here. The soldier is lying asleep on his bed. Well, you think he's asleep. He's still wearing his armor and his sword is still in its sheath by his side. It's as if he just collapsed here. You check for a pulse, and fortunately you find one. He must have been very, very tired. Leave him be. Okay, this is the kitchen. Apprentice mage, archer. Yeah, this is just the kitchen. You enter Fort Bluebird's southern library, the smaller of the two libraries in the fort, and thus the island. The air in here is stuffy. The fort could really use a window or two. You look around and notice that the books on the shelves are all articles on the art of teleportation. There's probably little here that you can use. This soldier is wandering around the library aimlessly. When he sees you, he shakes his head and steps away. I'm, Dylan, and I can't stay in chat, sorry. Okay, then. It says it's a smaller one, but it's exactly the same size as the other library. This bookshelf, like all the others in the room, is filled with thick tomes on the subject of teleportation. However, on further inspection, you'll also find a scroll tube wedged in at one end. Ooh, lightning spray. That's something. I take it back, it's one shelf smaller. You try and get past the huge soldier that is standing guard here. You don't get very far. As soon as he sees what you're doing, he shouts an alarm and proceeds to stand in your way. Don't go trying that, because you won't get past me, got it? As you approach the soldier, he turns to face you and grunts. No entry to non-magi. Now beat it before I get to unsheath Vlad here. He pats his sword in a menacing way. You decide not to try and go past him. We've looked at the corpse, Jessica. You tell Jessica how you found no clues as to the identity of the murderer. She looks at you bemused. Of course there isn't, or we'd have figured it out. You can ask around, I guess, see if anybody knows anything. And you should go tell Commander Hawley that you haven't found anything either. She might have more missions for you. And I should get on. Is that all? Okay, then. We still have time, so I guess we can go back to Commander Hawley. Speak with her about this. Oh, the door's down here. You re-enter Commander Hawley's office. She is sitting at her desk, busily making notes. You clear your throat to get her attention, and she immediately looks up at you. Ah, good, you've returned. Right, tell me what you've learned. You begin to tell her how you spoke to Jessica, and discover that all the mages are behaving oddly. As you continue, a soldier suddenly calls to the door. Commander, I just got a message from Magis Jessica at Fort Bluebird. She says that she has a new lead on the murder, and needs you to send the detectives. Quit immediately, quickly! His message delivered, he falls back against the wall. Hawley speaks up. Thanks, Morley. Can you go to Fort Bluebird and wait for these men? He nods and goes. Then Hawley says, Right, Jessica has a lead and it's your job to follow it. Go to Fort Bluebird and find out what you can. Now go! I've sent down Captain Morley to help you. And good luck. Okay, I guess that's what we'll do. Let's go speak with Jessica again. You return to Fort Bluebird. Everything is deathly silent except for a humming sound. The sound is more pronounced than before and is stopping you concentrating. Just as you wonder what could be causing it, you see Captain Morley, the man who interrupted your meeting with Commander Hawley, up ahead. Before you can say anything, even a hello, Morley cuts in. Good, you're here. I'm going to go and have a look around. You go and talk to Administrator Jessica. Once you've talked to her, come and meet me in the portal room. And with that, he runs off. Kind of wonder what's in those caves over here first, as we were told to look in them. So, yeah, we got 5 minutes. Let's take a look. As you enter this cavern, your breath catches in your throat. It is stunningly beautiful. Crystal formations line the floor and ceiling, emitting a soft blue light. The walls glow a dull, pulsating blue, and everything you see glitters brilliantly. As well as this, large mushrooms dot the cavern floor, somehow altered and enhanced by the magical properties of the cave. Looking around, you see the prints of heavy boots in the dust. The Empire forces here must already have explored the area. The whole cavern must be amazingly valuable to the work here on the island. Even from the entrance, you can feel the high concentration of magical energy in the air. It's probably from here that the crystals used in the portal experiments originate. However, highly concentrated magic such as the stuff the crystal formations are spewing out can be very dangerous, which might go towards explaining the lack of any major human presence. Excluding you, of course. Alright, let's take a look around. There's a bridge over there, but we go to the right first. That's how I do things. Ooh, a piercing crystal? What? The game just failed to load this graphic. The editor might have run out of memory, but more likely the graphic it was trying to find wasn't there. You won't see this error again until you load a new outdoor section or town. Okay. Something ahead catches your eye. There's something coming out of the wall just in front of you. You pause, terrified, and watch the apparition. Help me! The shade passes through the wall opposite to where it emerged. The wailing voice that cried when you saw it is gone. You wonder what that was. Stuck on 510. The cave continues to stretch further underground here, heading roughly towards the east. However, a series of cave quakes and rockfalls have left the galley impassable. There is a huge pit worn into the floor here. Peering over the side gives you no indication to the depth of it, and shining your light over it doesn't help either. So you find a small rock and throw it down. You wait, and wait, and wait. And wait. Eventually, after a few moments without hearing anything, you creep slowly away from the edge. The cave continues to stretch further underground here, heading roughly towards the north. Over a series... Okay, again impassable. Another crystal here. The cave here descends into a swampy mess. Large puddles of murky water line the floor. Some water must have leaked from above and created a reeking grotto of fungi and mold. As if that wasn't enough, several snakes have adopted the area as their home. If you turn back now, they probably won't attack you, but if you continue any further, they look ready to defend their home. Ow. Now this may be painful. This is definitely painful. Okay, this is definitely going to hurt. That's a bother. Ah, crap. Okay, hold on while I reload. Alright, let's try this again. Well, that was effective. Okay, that went much better for some reason. Mushrooms, gray mold, and a crystal. Okay, that's everything there. You ease yourself slowly onto this worn stone bridge. It is a miracle that it is still standing. It must be centuries old. That must mean it was created by the natives of the island. A surprising discovery considering they were supposed to be savages. It's clear that there was far more to these people than you first thought. Maybe you can learn more about them further inside. Which I'll definitely try after I regain my spell energy. And maybe avoiding that strange error I was getting if I go around this way. Looks like it. They're still further in, so we'll end this episode here and then look in, and then get back onto the thing we should be doing. That'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Chester44. That is Fox, Sheik, Bonnie, and Draco. This has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.